They're walking me to the chamber right now. My name is Carlos Mendez. I'm 27 years old. In about 8 minutes, I'll be strapped to a gurney, and they'll pump chemicals into my body until I stop breathing. I killed a man. His name was David Park. He was a taxi driver, 53 years old, father of 2. I shot him in the head during a carjacking. I'm not going to lie to you and say I didn't do it. I'm not going to tell you I was innocent or that the system failed me. I did it, and now I'm paying for it. But before they put me down like a sick dog, hit that subscribe button. Because what I'm about to tell you isn't a story about redemption. It's a story about acceptance, about the strange calm that comes when you finally stop running from what you did. Stay with me. These are my last words. I was born in Miami, Liberty City, to be specific. If you know anything about Miami, you know that's not the pretty part with beaches and palm trees. That's the part tourists don't see. My parents came from Brazil when I was 3. My dad worked construction. My mom cleaned houses for rich white families in Coral Gables. They worked hard, saved every dollar, tried to give me and my little sister something better. But Liberty City has a way of pulling you down no matter how hard your parents fight for you. I wasn't a bad kid at first. I did okay in school. Not great, but okay. I liked drawing. Used to sketch cars and buildings during class when I should have been paying attention. My art teacher, Mrs. Rodriguez, she said I had talent. Said I could do something with it if I applied myself. But I didn't apply myself. By 15, I was running with a crew. Small-time stuff. Selling weed, boosting car stereos, breaking into houses when we knew people were on vacation. Nothing violent. At least not at first. My parents found out when I was 16. My dad, man, I'll never forget the look on his face. Not anger. Disappointment. That's worse. Anger fades. Disappointment just sits there in someone's eyes forever. He worked doubles for 3 months to pay for a lawyer when I got caught with stolen goods. Got me off with probation and community service. Made me promise I'd stop, that I'd finish school, that I'd be better. I promised. I lied. By 17, I dropped out. Started dealing harder stuff. Cocaine, pills, whatever paid. I told myself it was temporary, that I'd make enough money to get out, start over somewhere clean. But the thing about crime is, it's never temporary. You just keep sinking deeper until you can't see daylight anymore. I moved out when I was 19. Couldn't stand the way my mom looked at me, like she was watching me die in slow motion and couldn't do anything to stop it. My sister stopped talking to me around that time, too. She was in college. Pre-med. Everything I wasn't. She told me I was a poison in the family. That every time I came around, I brought trouble. She was right. I bounced around. Stayed with different girls. Crashed on couches. Did whatever I had to do to get by. And I kept telling myself I was in control. That I knew what I was doing. That I'd stop when I was ready. Then came the night that ended everything. April 22nd, 2011. It was a Thursday. Hot. The kind of Florida heat that makes your shirt stick to your back the second you step outside. I'd been up for 2 days straight. Cocaine and Red Bull. My mind was racing. My hand was shaking, and I needed money. I owed people. The kind of people who don't give extensions or second chances. I tried calling everyone I knew. Nobody was lending. Nobody was buying what I was selling. I was desperate. That's when I saw the cab. It was parked outside a convenience store on 62nd Street. Engine running. Driver inside, probably waiting for a fare. Yellow taxi. Company car. Older model. Something clicked in my head. Not a plan exactly. More like an impulse. A stupid, desperate impulse. I walked up to the driver's side. The window was down. The AC was blasting. The driver was a Korean man. Older. Gray hair. Glasses. He was reading something on his phone. Probably checking for ride requests. Hey, I said. You available? He looked up. Smiled. Kind eyes. Yes, yes. Where you going? I opened the door. Get out. His smile disappeared. What? Get out of the car. Now. I pulled out my gun. A 9mm I'd bought off a guy in Overtown 2 weeks earlier. I'd never fired it. Didn't even know if it worked properly. The driver's eyes went wide. He put his hands up. Okay. Please. Take it. Take the car. He started to get out. Slowly. Carefully. Like he was afraid any sudden movement would set me off. He should have been afraid. I don't know what happened next. Not exactly. My brain was fried from the drugs. My hand was shaking. My finger was on the trigger. He moved. Maybe he was just trying to step out of the car. Maybe he was reaching for something. I don't know, but I thought he was going for a weapon. So I fired. The sound was so loud it hurt my ears. The muzzle flash lit up his face for a fraction of a second. He jerked backward. His glasses flew off. Blood sprayed across the dashboard. He slumped against the seat, eyes open, staring at nothing. I just stood there, frozen, the gun still pointed at him. Around us, people started screaming. I heard someone yell, "Call 911." Someone else was crying. I should have run right then. Should have dropped the gun and disappeared into the night. But I didn't. I got in the car. His body was still in the passenger seat, leaning against the door. Blood everywhere. The smell, God, the smell. Copper and something else. Something final. I put the car in drive and floored it. I made it 3 blocks before I crashed into a light pole. The airbag deployed. I hit my head on the steering wheel. Everything went blurry. When I came to, there were cops everywhere. Guns drawn, screaming at me to get out with my hands up. I didn't fight, didn't run. Just put my hands up and let them pull me out. It was over. I found out later his name was David Park. He'd been driving cabs for 15 years. Came to America from South Korea in his 30s. Worked 70-hour weeks to support his family. His daughter was in nursing school. His son was graduating high school that year. He was supposed to pick up his wife after her shift at the hospital that night. Instead, she got a call from the police. The trial was quick. There were witnesses, surveillance cameras, my fingerprints on the gun, David's blood in the car, my toxicology report showing cocaine and amphetamines in my system. My public defender tried. She really did. Argued that I was high, that I didn't intend to kill him, that it should be second-degree murder or manslaughter. But the prosecutor painted me as a violent criminal, a drug addict, a carjacker who executed an innocent man in cold blood. The jury deliberated for 2 days. When they came back, the forewoman couldn't even look at me. Guilty. First-degree murder with special circumstances. Felony murder during the commission of a carjacking. David's wife spoke at sentencing. She was small, delicate. She wore a black dress and held a photo of David. Their wedding photo. They looked so happy. She spoke in broken English. Told the judge about their life together. How they'd saved for 20 years to buy a house. How David worked night shifts so he could see his kids during the day. How their daughter had just gotten into a good nursing program. She looked at me when she finished. Right at me. And she said something I'll never forget. "You didn't just kill my husband. You killed our future." The judge sentenced me to death. My mom cried in the courtroom. My dad didn't. He just sat there, stone-faced, like he'd already buried me years ago. That was 3 years ago. 3 years of appeals that went nowhere. 3 years of sitting in a 6x9 cell, replaying that night over and over. At first, I was angry. Angry at the system. Angry at my lawyer. Angry at the world for putting me in a position where I had to steal a car to survive. But somewhere around year 2, the anger faded, and I was just left with the truth. I killed a man. A good man. A man who was just trying to make a living. A man who never hurt anyone. And I took him from his family for nothing. For a car I didn't even get to keep. For a life I was too stupid to value. Today, they woke me at 5 a.m. The guard was a guy named Thompson. He's been decent to me. Never cruel. Just professional. He didn't say much. Just unlocked the cell and told me it was time to shower. The water was warm. I stood under it for as long as they'd let me. Tried to wash away 3 years of sweat and regret. They gave me the white clothes. I put them on without complaint. Breakfast was scrambled eggs, toast, and coffee. Standard Florida death row last meal. I ate the eggs. Couldn't stomach the rest. A priest came by around 10 a.m. Young guy. Probably late 20s. Close to my age. He asked if I wanted to confess. I told him everything. The drugs. The desperation. The shooting. The crash. He listened without judgment. When I finished, he said, "God can forgive anything. But first, you have to forgive yourself." I don't know if I believe that, but it was nice to hear. They let me call my mom at noon. She lives in Tampa now. Moved after the trial. Couldn't stay in Miami. She answered on the first ring. "Carlos." "Hi, Mama." She broke down immediately. Just sobbed. I wanted to comfort her, but I didn't know how. "I'm sorry," I said. "For everything. For wasting the life you gave me. For hurting you. You're my son, she whispered. You'll always be my son. We talked for 10 minutes. She told me my sister had a baby girl last year. My niece. A kid I'll never meet. When the call ended, I felt hollowed out. Empty in a way I can't describe. The warden came at 5:30 p.m. He's a tall man with tired eyes. He's done this dozens of times. He read the execution order. Legal language. Cold and formal. Do you understand? He asked. Yes, sir. It's time. And now we're walking. I count the steps without meaning to. 1, 2, 3, 4. The hallway is long. Gray concrete walls. Fluorescent lights that buzz and flicker. 10, 11, 12. Thompson is on my left. Another guard I don't know is on my right. They're not holding me. I'm not fighting. Where would I go? 20, 21. The priest is behind us. I can hear him praying quietly. I catch words here and there. Mercy, peace, forgiveness. 30, 31. My heart is pounding, but I feel strangely calm. Like I'm floating above myself, watching this happen to someone else. 40, 41. I think about my mom. About the last time I made her smile. I was maybe 14. I drew her a portrait for Mother's Day. It wasn't great, but she cried happy tears and hugged me so tight I thought my ribs would crack. When did I stop being that kid? 50, 51. We reach the door. The warden unlocks it. The sound echoes down the hallway. He pushes it open. Inside, the execution chamber is smaller than I expected. Bright white walls. Too white, like a hospital or a morgue. The gurney is in the center. Brown leather straps hanging off the sides like dead snakes. To the left is the force stand. 2 bags of clear liquid. The drugs that will stop my heart. 3 windows line the far wall. Window 1, victim's family. David's wife is there. His daughter too. She looks like him. Same kind eyes. They're both wearing black. Window 2, my witnesses. My mom. She's wearing the same dress she wore to my sentencing. My sister is next to her. First time I've seen her in 3 years. Window 3, media. 3 reporters with notepads. Please lie down, the warden says. I walk to the gurney. My legs feel weak, but I don't stumble. I sit. The leather is cold against my back. I swing my legs up. Above me, the ceiling is white. Clean. Nothing to look at. They strap me down. Arms first. The leather digs into my wrists. Then my legs. My chest. My head. I can't move. Can barely breathe. A medical technician enters. She's middle-aged. Doesn't look at my face. Just my arms. She finds a vein on my right arm. Slides the needle in. I feel the pinch, then the cold tube taped to my skin. Then the left arm. Back up. The priest leans close. May the Lord have mercy on your soul. Thank you, Father. The warden steps forward. Carlos Mendez, you have been sentenced to death by the state of Florida for the murder of David Park. Do you have any last words? I look at the ceiling for a moment. Then I turn my head toward the witness window, toward David's family. My mouth is dry, but I force the words out. Mrs. Park, I don't know if you can hear me through the glass, but I need you to hear this. I'm sorry. I know those words are empty. I know they don't bring your husband back. Don't pay the bills he would have paid. Don't walk your daughter down the aisle. Don't hold your grandchildren. I took all of that from you, from your family, and I can never give it back. I was high. I was desperate. I was stupid. And none of that matters. None of it excuses what I did. Your husband, David, he didn't deserve what happened to him. He was just working, just trying to take care of his family. And I took his life for nothing. For a car. For a stupid, pointless car that I crashed 3 blocks away. I've had 3 years to think about that night. 3 years to replay it in my head. And every single time, I wish I'd made a different choice. I wish I'd just walked away. I wish I'd asked for help. I wish I'd been brave enough to face my problems instead of running from them. But I wasn't. And now a good man is dead because of me. I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't deserve forgiveness. But I need you to know I never forgot him. Not for one day. His face is the last thing I see when I close my eyes at night. And I hope, I really hope, that after tonight, you can find some peace. That you can move forward knowing I paid for what I did. To my mom, Mama, you did everything right. You and Papa worked so hard to give me a chance. And I threw it away. That's on me. Not you. Never you. I love you. And I'm sorry I couldn't be the son you deserved. To my sister, I'm proud of you. I heard you have a daughter now. Raise her right. Raise her better than I turned out. Tell her about me if you want. Tell her what not to become. And to anyone listening, if you're walking the path I walked, if you're making the choices I made, stop. Stop before you end up here. Stop before you take someone's father, someone's husband, someone's future. Because once you do, you can't undo it. You can't take it back. And you'll spend the rest of your life, however long that is, knowing you destroyed people you never even met. I'm ready. I close my eyes. The ward nods. I feel the chemicals enter my veins, cold spreading through my arms, my chest. My breathing slows. I think about David, about his kind eyes when he smiled at me through the car window. I think about my mom's face on Mother's Day when I gave her that drawing. I think about the life I could have had if I'd just been brave enough to choose differently. The cold reaches my heart, and then nothing.
Those were his last words. Carlos Mendez was pronounced dead at 6:14 p.m. on August 7, 2014, at Florida State Prison in Rayford, Florida. He was 27 years old. He served 3 years on death row for the murder of David Sungmin Park, 53, during an attempted carjacking. His mother, Elena Mendez, released a brief statement. "My son made a terrible mistake that cost a beautiful man his life. I pray for the Park family every day. I pray my son has finally found peace." His sister, Isabella Mendez Rivera, declined to comment. David Park's widow, Minji Park, told reporters after the execution, "This doesn't bring my husband back, but maybe now we can stop reliving that night. Maybe now we can remember David for how he lived, not how he died." David's daughter, Sarah Park, completed her nursing degree and now works at Jackson Memorial Hospital in Miami. She has declined all interview requests. The taxi that Carlos attempted to steal was returned to the Yellow Cab Company. It was decommissioned and sold at auction. The proceeds went to David Park's family. Carlos Mendez's toxicology report at the time of the crime showed cocaine, methamphetamine, and alcohol in his system. His blood alcohol content was 0.12, well above the legal limit. The gun used in the murder was a 9mm handgun purchased illegally. It has since been destroyed. This is episode 2 of Last Words. Subscribe to hear more stories from death row, because sometimes the only way to understand the cost of violence is to hear from those who paid the ultimate price.